Well, I think it's going to play a very major role. That is good and as well as bad. Good in the sense that for this activity to scale up, you will need the inputs from the private sector, because scaling up is not easy within the government sector. I suspect that going forward, exploration will still remain in the domain of governments, but exploitation of space will probably pass on to the private sector. Yeah, exactly. But then, this is to be expected. Nobody ever explores just for the sake of tourism. When you explore, you want to know what all you can get out of that place. What are the assets which are hidden, maybe subsoil? The environment which is out there, what are the advantages of that environment, and how can you derive benefit from it? So that is a natural corollary to exploration. So now that the exploration, at least in our celestial neighborhood, is more or less over, in the sense that Mangalyaan is gone, Chandrayaan is gone. We have got quite a few probes. There is a probe or two which has also gone out of the solar system. So we have pretty much mapped the territory where we would in the future like to operate within. So now that that's done, the time has now come to move out. But I think the more significant event which we are going to be seeing is for the first time that human civilization is going to relocate, a part of it at least, because this time we are going not to explore, we are going to exploit, we are going not to visit, we are going to inhabit, because in order to realize the aims of exploitation, you got to live there. You cannot commute. The distances are so much that you cannot do a Monday to Friday kind of a thing. It really doesn't have to be that, in the sense that you can't keep escaping places which are your natural habitat. I mean, the very idea of getting technologically advanced and not realizing that the home planet which we have, which sustains life, we continue destroying it, and having plundered it and destroyed it, we move off somewhere else and cause the same kind of mayhem in a different place. This is so regressive. That's why I say it doesn't have to be like that. Sure, I mean, planet Earth is the cradle of our civilization. By all means, go out, but that does not mean you don't respect and you don't live with the environment. I think we need to focus as much, if not more, in saving the environment, what we have, because it's a sustaining life. And instead of that, we are going to a place which is barren, and we are going to face humongous technological challenges to replicate the kind of environment which is going to sustain life over there. And once you do start exploiting that place, you're going to leave it in a worse state than when you have occupied it. Unless you change the way you live, unless you realize that we have to live with the environment. Environment is not there for plundering, it is there to sustain life. It'll have to be the moon first, because that's where we will need to cut our teeth. That is where we will need to, it would be a kind of a proof of concept. It's closer, it's approachable. We've been there before. We have got a pretty good knowledge of what the moon is all about. There is evidence that there's water there. So it's a lot more welcoming than Mars is presently.